This is the Wyckoff Method, a trading approach that uses recurring market psychology to determine future market movements. But it is very complex. So, is it worth your time, or are there more effective ways to achieve success in the market? The Wyckoff theory is excellent. I found one huge problem with pursuing the Wyckoff method, and that is hindsight bias. This is the Wyckoff accumulation schematic for USDCAT. I will now break down the schematic in more detail, but for the moment, we have a decline phase, an accumulation phase, and then a markup phase. The problem I encountered while studying Wyckoff was that we never know precisely which part of the Wyckoff theory we are in, as the market will provide us with many false signals. Is this the selling climax? Or is this the selling climax? Only when this large drop occurs, and this spring effect happens, do we begin to understand that we entered too early, and we would have incurred losses trying to buy in this accumulation phase, because the accumulation was not yet complete. Therefore, the main problem I have always found with the Wyckoff method is that you end up becoming very subjective about exactly which point in the schematic you are in, and this can lead to you buying or selling too early, which means you can incur many losses before the schematic is actually complete. Thus, the Wyckoff schematic consists of three distinct parts. We have a decline, accumulation, and markup. If we consider the distribution schematic, this would be changed to a markup, a distribution phase, and then a decline. Essentially, a decline is simply a downward move in the market. A markup is simply an upward move in the market. And then accumulation, or distribution, is the area where orders are being gathered. The traditional Wyckoff accumulation, or distribution schematic, is full of various notations and different ideas for each individual movement. Within the consolidation, in the selling climax, we see the automatic rally, secondary tests, Phase B secondary tests, tests of the spring, the last point of support, signs of strength. All these various elements become very complex when you are actually watching the market in real time. This is precisely why I said the problem of hindsight bias truly haunts the Wyckoff method. Because when you look back at the market, as we just did with USDCAT, you can clearly see the schematic after it is already played out. But when it is in the process of actually forming, it is very difficult to understand whether, for example, this is actually a secondary test, whether a breakout here will be a sign of strength. It is very difficult to actually understand where in the schematic you are, and I find that many people cannot figure it out and get stuck in this confusion for a very long time, incurring numerous losses before they actually achieve one winning trade. How can we eliminate the confusion from the Wyckoff theory and profit from this very real concept of decline, accumulation, and markup? Well, here is my simplified approach to the Wyckoff theory, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. I love the core concepts of Wyckoff. I think the phases of decline, markup, and accumulation and distribution make complete sense. Markets are driven by orders. They are driven by the amount of buying versus the amount of selling, and that is precisely what Wyckoff is about. In the accumulation phase, we see the completion of the decline, because those sellers are exhausted. There isn't much selling pressure left in the market. And through the accumulation phase, there is this flat phase where more buyers enter the market and more sellers leave the market. Then we transition into the markup phase, where the buyers have taken control, and eventually, we will encounter the distribution phase, where those buyers are leaving the market and new sellers are entering. Thus, it is a constant flow of recurring market behavior and market psychology that drives the market up, down, and sideways in calculated, theoretical, and logical ways. However, I do not like the confusion of the traditional Wyckoff schematics. What I have actually done myself through testing is transform the Wyckoff theory into a simple price-action-based approach. These are the schematics I use in my own trading to find optimal setups. So, overall, the accumulation schematic for me would look something like this, and the distribution schematic would look something like this. Now, it's all very simple, and I don't really need to account for selling climaxes, automatic rallies, tests, secondary tests, springs, and all the rest. I look for the market to form a liquidity range, which will be a sideways price movement, like this. And then, below it, I look for the market to form a spring, which will be that breakout move or a liquidity sweep. Therefore, the accumulation schematic transforms into a liquidity range, a liquidity sweep, a breakout, and a continuation to the upside. And the distribution schematic for me would look like a liquidity range, a liquidity sweep, a breakout, and a sell-off. Very simple and very similar in both directions. So, how does this actually belong to the same category as the Wyckoff theory? Well, essentially, when we consider the Wyckoff schematic in a broader sense, we are looking for the accumulation of liquidity in the range, and then the liquidation of that liquidity via a spring, which is essentially the last attempt by sellers to push the market down, followed by a strong rally where the sellers fail and new buyers step in at these very low levels, ready to push the market into a new markup phase. Obviously, the Wyckoff schematic contains all these confusing minutiae, but I don't think we really need to include that in our trading to be successful, and my testing would show the same. So, here is the distribution schematic on the dollar index, you see? So, we have a markup phase, a liquidity range phase where the market consolidates sideways. Then we have a spring, a very important part of any accumulation or distribution schematic. Essentially, it's the last attempt to break through the liquidity above the given consolidation range, and also the last attempt at buying by the buyers before the sellers take control. And then we transition to the decline phase, where the sellers take control of the market, and the market moves into a new phase of downward price movement. And if you recall the schematic, where would we actually want to enter this trade? Well, it would be within this supply area here. So, what are we looking for in these phases? It's a downward move, a slight redistribution in the form of a supply zone before a proper breakdown of the structure occurs. And then, that small supply zone will be the place where our sell trade would take place. So, going back to that simplified schematic I showed you, here it is in action. 1. Price markup. 2. Liquidity range, liquidity sweep. 4. Price decline. 5. Price markup, liquidity range, liquidity sweep. 7. Price decline. 8. And here is the accumulation schematic on the euro/British pound. Do you see it? Here it is. We have a price decline, a liquidity range, a liquidity sweep, and then a price markup phase. And as you can see, it is very easy to follow because we don't take any action until we get the sweep and then the breakout. Now, in this example, you can see we had a very clear entry point from this demand zone here. So, we had an upward move. We pulled back. This is that reaccumulation we talked about earlier. The structure broke, and then, after the structure broke, that area of reaccumulation there, or that demand zone there, becomes our buy point. And as you can see, if you had bought from there, you would have had a very profitable trade. Thus, this approach to the simplified Wyckoff theory allows me to take really good trades without going through the confusion of scrutinizing every step of the accumulation schematic. I have transformed it into a price action-based approach that uses the same theory of the struggle between sellers and buyers, but simplifies everything to just look for a consolidation range, a sweep, and then a structural breakout. This then leads to our upward or downward trends, depending on whether we are considering an accumulation or a distribution schematic. So, it's that simple. Now, there are a few final points I want to talk about regarding my simplified Wyckoff approach before we finish the video. And that is number 1. This theory is fractal. This means it can be applied to any time frame, and it will yield similar results. So you can see these patterns on a 1-minute time frame. You will also see the same liquidity range, liquidity sweep, structural breakout, and price movement on the 4-hour time frame, the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, on absolutely any time frame. Therefore, whether you are a day trader, a swing trader, or a scalper does not matter. These patterns can benefit you regardless of the time frames you trade. Another thing is that you should always consider demand and supply zones, because these are where you will get your entry and exit points for these trades. When you are trading based on one of my simplified Wyckoff schematics, A demand zone or a supply zone will always be the point where you will want to enter a trade. If you go back to both examples, you will see that the buy was taken from a demand zone, and the sell was taken from a supply zone, right before the structural break occurred. As for profit targets, you should also use supply and demand zones to exit your trades. When we enter a trade like this, we are following the start of a new trend reversal, so it is difficult to see exactly where the trend will stop. The easiest way to find a safe exit for your trade is to look to the left, at the decline phase that preceded the accumulation, or the markup phase that preceded the distribution, and find an imbalanced supply or demand zone. If you find such an imbalanced supply or demand zone, you can find a clear target for your trade, and this will help you avoid losses. So, hopefully, you can take the information I provided you with today, test it out for yourself, and hopefully achieve some success with these Wyckoff theory concepts in a much more simplified form. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe